So if you're brand new, if you're just here to kind of check out what TeamZy's got to offer, and you might want to ask some questions, stick with us, because like I said, I'm going to go through a little bit of everything. And then the last 30 minutes of today's call, I want to dive into a question and answer. So if you do have specific questions, go ahead and utilize your question and answer section. It should be in the upper left-hand corner or the upper right-hand corner. From there, you can jot down any questions, and then at the end of my presentation, I'll go ahead and dive into each of those questions specifically. Okay, so thank you for being here. It's that time of year again, folks. Holidays are starting to kind of blur into the end of the year, but this is crunch time. So you've made a great choice to jump on this call. We're going to get into tips, tricks, how you can really use the system to the best of your ability. So the question is, does everyone have a trial on this call? Because the free trial is your best way to get a sense of what TeamZy has to offer you. In all of my years in working with tech and different tools and online systems and services, I always get the same question from business owners. What's the best tool for doing this? What's the best way to save time doing this? Honestly, folks, the best tool is the one you're going to use. So get a free trial of TeamZy, dive in, get your contacts loaded, and then really try for 30 days to work your system, okay? To work the TeamZy system. Rely on the follow-up systems that are built right in for you. So, like I said, I'm super excited to show you all of TeamZy, but I wanted to make sure that you're all taking advantage of that free 30-day trial. No credit card necessary. We just want you to love it, okay? So, what is TeamZy? Before we go any further, before I talk to you about the logistics of setting up and importing contacts and things of that nature, what is TeamZy? I all too often hear that TeamZy is the tracking app. It's the app you use to track. Yes, but that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg, folks. TeamZy is so much more than just the capability to track. It's going to be your lead generation system, okay? I'm going to say that one again for you. It is your lead generation system. TeamZy goes above and beyond the tracking. While it is, in fact, an incredibly robust and an excellent system for tracking and organization, it's going to help you generate leads, bringing in new blood into your business. And as a Beachbody coach, isn't that sort of the cornerstone of what you're all doing? Meeting new people, exposing them to the services that you offer. But how do you do all that without staying organized? Okay, that's the easiest way to lose your mind in this business, because you're managing, you're meeting people through lots of different avenues, whether it be face-to-face and belly-to-belly. I know it happens somewhere. Or if it's social media, Facebook, Insta, whatever you're using to connect with people, or making new introductions, exposing new people to the services and the products that you offer. It's important to make sure that you're organized all of that, because if you're managing a list in and then Instagram and LinkedIn, how long do people fall through? And that start moving into business with you before they've even decided to move forward. So that's what I want to show you in TeamZy today, is how one system can ultimately streamline all of the scrubbing that you were doing, right? Scrubbing lists and trying to find the people that are interested, and then trying to go through your Facebook and find who didn't I message yesterday or who did I miss. These are the pain points. These are the challenges that TeamZy is really great at solving for. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background that TeamZy is way more than just a tracking app. And I want to show you a little bit about that today. So without further ado, let's take a look at TeamZy. Okay, so you should all now be looking at my TeamZy screen. So this is going to be a brand new TeamZy account. Now, what's awesome is that, so like I mentioned, many of you may be at different points in the process. You may already be using TeamZy, so which is awesome. If you've got specific questions, go ahead, like I said, and utilize that question and answer section in the upper right or left of your screen, and I will get into those specifically. But hang with us through this whole session. Sometimes you'll have a takeaway or something that you didn't know was in the system before, and I'll try to give you a couple tips and tricks along the way. Okay, so when you first log into your TeamZy, if you're getting started in your trial, you're going to have a banner here. This banner will actually show you, it'll give you a little message that says, we notice you have not set up your TeamZy. and it's going to give you a link to what's known as our setup wizard. Okay, the setup wizard makes the setup process super simple, holds your hand, make sure that you contribute to all of the fields that you need to, okay? Make sure all of your information goes where it needs to go. So let's take a look. Now, when I'm launching the setup wizard in my system, you're gonna notice that it actually has different videos, tutorial videos that will walk you through this portion, so you're not getting overwhelmed at any point. You'll be able to log in and find out, okay, what is my step one? My step one is to set my income goal, but really, what does that mean? If you were to click on this video and all of the subsequent videos throughout the setup wizard, it'll actually walk you through that process. So let's take a look at what the setup wizard has for us. So if we hit start on the setup wizard, the very first field is going to be your income goal. Now, at TeamZy, we're not making any sort of an income promise here, okay, or any sort of an income guarantee, but we are giving you the opportunity to set a goal for yourself, okay, almost a milestone that you need to reach, and then we're going to give you the tools, okay, that is TeamZy to achieve that goal. So take some time and go through your goal process. Make sure that you're spending time on each field, and you know why you're saying you want to make that much, or why that's your why, and we'll get into that here in a minute. Okay, so I've got my income goal set to 100,000. You can choose to set it at your own preference. If you are a superstar Beachbody coach, which I know we've got quite a few of you on board already, decide what you want to do next year. This is that time of year where people do course correcting, where they take a hard look at what they were able to achieve thus far, and they want to make changes, or they want to do a little bit of this or a little bit of that will help them be better or do better. So when you're taking a look at your next year, we're at strategic planning time. Take a look at this income goal and decide, what could I really do? Get ambitious, okay? Or make this as realistic as possible. Wherever you are in the process, decide on your income goal. And then we'll hit continue. Now, once you've set that income goal, now I've told the system what I'd like to achieve, okay? And now it's actually gonna crunch those numbers for me. Because it's important for you to know that TeamZy is not just pretty bells and whistles. We have an extremely robust engine on the back end that's actually cranking out for you the number of activities you need to complete to stay on track with your income goal. How exciting is that? You never have to give it another moment's thought because the system's doing it for you. So what is TeamZy telling me I need to do? In order to accomplish my six-figure goal, I need to now complete a total of 2,899 connections over the next 12 months, okay? I know that sounds like a lot. I know a bunch of you said, oh, okay, it's 2,899 connections over the next 12 months. So what does that look like? The system is now going to take those crunched numbers, and it's going to break it down for you into bite-sized chunks. Now, I know many of you may have heard this phrase before, okay, how do you eat an elephant? I know, it's not so great. But the truth is, the only way to eat anything is a bite at a time, okay? If I were to tell my Marine Corps husband that, he'd probably say to me, no, that's not the case. I can eat as much as I want to eat, but that's just him. So if you're considering, how do I achieve this incredible goal? How do I get to that milestone? It's a step at a time, folks. That's how. So you lean on a tool like TeamZy when you're looking at your planning and your strategy for next year. And it's telling you, based on your income goal, this is what you need to achieve. You need to, based on your prospects, customers, and coaches, because that's the focus of TeamZy. We know that as Beachbody coaches, that's ultimately how you see the world. You know, everyone kind of falls into those categories ultimately. So TeamZy is going to break down your activities by the type of person that you may be interacting with, allowing you to be systematic and focused on who you connect with. So it breaks down for me the number of connections I need to make to my prospects yearly, monthly, weekly, and then daily. So again, bite-sized chunks. I don't need to feel overwhelmed, even though I may have a loftier goal. So once I've set my goals, you'll notice once the system has set up my goals for me or broke them down, I now have the option to manually override those. If I realize that right now I'm already connecting with 10 prospects with no problem, maybe you can go ahead and take a look at that and add 10 to the number. You know what, I do 10 without a problem, let me add 10. I'm going to shoot for 16 per day. And little by little, you are injecting new lifeblood into your business, which is so important. Okay, now with your customers, same deal. If you realize that, I connect with my customers all day long, no problem. I can hit 4 without blinking. Then go ahead and up that number, okay? But this is really what the system is doing. It's considering your overall goal, and now it's giving you bite-sized chunks so that you can eventually devour that goal, okay? So that's ultimately your goal process for your prospects, your customers, and your coaches. Now, as you're going through and you're connecting with new prospects and customers and coaches, we know that you're going to be inviting people, and we know that you're going to be adding new people to your database as you go along. So you'll notice that the system has also broken down a goal for each of these also. So you've got a daily invite goal, and then you have a daily ad goal, okay? So as you're acquiring new people or infusing them into your business, introducing new people to your products, or introducing them simply to you, okay? You're going to have a goal for that, and the system's actually going to allow you to track against that goal. So you know how close or how far you are to meeting those milestones. Like I said, all of these fields can be manually overridden. But if you're a person who maybe never set goals before, or this is going to be a complete change from what you're used to, then go ahead and log into the system, trust the system, go ahead and accept the recommended goals, and hit the ground running. Okay? So let's take a look here. Okay. Next up is